I know truckers. I'm acquainted with quite a few. And throughout the years, I'd ask different questions like, how does dispatch send them information? Um, where do they stop? How long are they on the road? And I think that it is a hard working job. I think you put in more than your fair share of work. So much so that a lot of these trucks are now sophisticated with their own beds and kitchens and things, and you even have to take porta potties. And you have YouTube personalities that talk about trucking. So I think it's a fantastic job to get into. I think it pays pretty well, though it would be smart to save your money and be savvy about it, because as you get older, it's a job that can take its toll. And I need to put that out there because I have the utmost respect for truckers despite the fact I've never done the job myself. It can be a dangerous job and it can take you away from your family for a while, but it can also provide an honest living. I love the truckers that pull over and rescue dogs and cats, because I love to see those stories in the headlines in the news and on YouTube. Because sometimes that life gets lonely, and especially if you rescue a dog that you can train, or a cat, because a cat in particular will just go to their litter box and then get up on their glove compartment, I imagine, if that's what they call it, and sleep all day. But I have to be brutally honest. In accordance with this article, I watched a special, and it might have been a decade ago or even less, where the FBI had admitted that they were watching over the road truckers because they believed that a couple of hundred could be serial killers. Because there's so much vastness to America, there's so much land that some owners who own that land may not go out to long swaths for long periods of time, or it's just been vacant. A person with a sick, twisted mind could hide who they really are, go into this profession, and the person who hired them would be none the wiser. When I watched that special, it had already said that the FBI believes that there was a couple of hundred people who could be picking people up and murdering them. And based on this article, it could be worse than what we think. The one that particularly got under my skin and I felt myself tense up and my shoulder got to bothering me. I've had problems from years ago when I got hit by an SUV. Is the guy who got a girl by herself, took a phone call from his mother and was looking in her eyes and killing her while he was talking on the phone with his mother. That's in this article. Unbelievable. And they asked him, like, no, I didn't rape any of them, or grape. My bad, because they might ban this video because I said the word. I didn't grape any of them. I just enjoyed killing. You know you gotta be a sick person to say that. This article also admits that a majority of them are of a certain race, namely Caucasian. See, the highways are so vast in America and so sprawling that you could easily dump someone after you've unalived them at night and no one would know they were there, sometimes for decades. Because again, people can own all this sprawling land, and you got truckers that may go to the same spots over and over and have never seen anyone there, so they this is going to be a good dumping spot. But trust and believe the ones who are doing this aren't your run-of-the-mill trucker who wants to take care of his family. Not your run-of-the-mill trucker that wants to do it temporarily, maybe start their own independent company or whatever, which is getting increasingly harder to do from what I understand. You see, the type of person who's doing this sadistic thing realizes that they can get paid well and hide under the gun while working a while and work a respectable career while committing murder. Particularly the story of the teenage girl from the South who ran away from home with her boyfriend. The trucker picks the two up, and when he gets them along, immediately shoots the young man point blank range in the head, and tortured and kept her for a while, then taunted and called her father, talking about the things that he was doing to her, before finally unaliving her and dumping her somewhere. This is easier than you would think, because if you didn't know that there was a body in those trucks, or you didn't know better, you wouldn't know that this stuff is happening. But it all makes sense, because they can easily dump the bodies and you wouldn't know. Like I said, if you can research this, again, this isn't an indictment on hard-working truckers. I'm pretty sure you all know that you're making a living. But some of your colleagues amongst you can sit in your face, eat alongside you, and keep up a face, and you'll never know it. Because one of these guys was a so-called happily married man with 2 kids at home. And when the FBI agent approached him and said, "Hey, are you the guy we're looking for?" He said, yeah, probably so. He just nonchalant. They opened the back of his rig, and what they saw was evidence immediately that he was what they thought he was, because they might have been tracking this guy for a while. This cautionary tale is no different or any different than any other cautionary tale. You can work along someone every single day and not know how sadistic that person is until it's too late. Be careful about who you give your trust to, and know that sometimes you're just not going to know until it's too late.